Good morning. Good morning. Hey, TNW Logger. Hey, everybody. I am so sorry for being so late 2 days in a row. Y'all know I don't like being late to my streams. Um, but I've been having a lot going on, been dealing with a lot. Life be life in. Sometimes you got to take care of the old people. You know what I mean? So life be life in. So I a little late this morning. I apologize, everybody. I know we drinking our coffee and chilling. But yeah, so I totally was having life in its life in moments. You know how that goes. It is what it is. But I'm sitting here chilling this morning, and I'm sitting here drinking this coffee and waking up. I'm half asleep. It is what it is. Um, my beautiful puppy dogs are laying down sleeping beside me. They lazy as little all get out. They know it too. I gotta get my back pillow right, y'all. My back pillow ain't right. If I don't, my back be hurting like a bitch. Alright. Oh, there we go. Get the back pillow right. So how you doing this morning? How's everybody doing? Everybody doing alright? I hope you're doing well. I hope that no matter what goes on today that you keep smiling today and all days. Today and all days. Now, I'm gonna go peruse around the YouTube streets and see what I can see. Check some community wows. You know what I'm saying? I will say that the flood in Texas. Pray for Texas, y'all. Over 100 dead so far. And there's 11 still missing from Camp Mystic. Um, it's sad. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I tell folks when you know you live in a flood zone, you don't just watch the area you're in for possible flooding. You look ahead too, because here's the thing: all rivers flow a specific way, right? So let's say at my old house, I used to live by a creek. It was called Chihuahua Creek, right? And that creek fed in from Town Creek. Town Creek feeds in from the Tennessee Tombigbee River. Okay, so if I know that river is flooding, then I know it's going to come down those tributaries. So I'm going to say this: if you live near a body of water of any kind of body of water, know where it feeds from, because you're going to need to know not just where you live and how the rainfall is above you, or whichever way. Like, let's say, um, with my creek, it came from the Tennessee Tombigbee River. Well, I know where the Tennessee Tombigbee feeds into Town Creek. Town Creek fed into Chihuahua Creek, right? So I knew that if Tennessee Tombigbee was flood worthy, that every one of those tributaries that come off of it would also flood, right? And so I didn't just look in one area. You have to look at where rivers feed from. But we all need to say a prayer today and all days, for the people in Texas. There is over 100 people um, that passed away. Over 100 people, and a bunch of children. Um, so um, I'm gonna say a little prayer. Um, this morning. I know not everybody believes. You don't have to believe if it's not for you. If it, what I'm saying, just don't listen is all I can say. Um, but I'm gonna say a little prayer for those kids and those parents. Um, Specifically, because I'm gonna tell you the parents. Um, It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Heavenly Father, I come into you today, and I'm asking you right now to give strength to those parents who are dealing with the death of their children. Dear Heavenly Father, I'm coming to you today to ask you to lay your hands on them and to make sure that those children go peacefully into your arms, dear Heavenly Father. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for all that you do. And I know sometimes we question why things happen. Dear Heavenly Father, I know sometimes some things are out of your control and that freak accidents do happen and bad things happen to good people. But dear Heavenly Father, in this time, I pray that all those affected by this flood have your strength, feel your presence in their time of need. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray that those who are lost that are not found yet are found, dear Heavenly Father. I pray that their bodies get rest. And I pray that, dear Lord, their bodies are found so that they can be buried and returned back to which they came. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you today for waking us up. We thank you for all that you blessed us with. And dear Heavenly Father, please watch out for those that need you now. They're in pain, dear Lord. They're hurting. They really need your strength and your guidance at this time. They need to wrap your big arms around them and feel your warmth right about now. Dear Heavenly Father, we pray for all those that, and we're hoping that they are found and all those that are still missing. Please, dear Lord, help the searchers and the people in the water and the people that are trying to help right now in that situation for their safety and that they be okay. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you and we come to you humbly to ask that you give them that strength and that love that you always give. And we want to thank you. And in your name we pray. Amen. I had to say a little prayer for those in Texas, over 100. Hey, Mr. MRE, I had to say that little prayer, and it was on my heart this morning to say it because there's enough going on in this world, right? And could you imagine if you sent your kid to summer camp to be with their friends and you got that phone call that your kid got washed away in a flood? Could you imagine getting that phone call? Could you imagine that there's parents out there that had multiple kids at that summer camp? There's over 100 people right now in these floods. Over 100 are gone. It said at least 104 people dead in Texas. And that's just what they know about. There's more possibilities. There's still a lot missing. So the death toll's over 100 right now. A lot of homes destroyed, a lot of people's properties. You know, some people ain't gonna be able to afford to rebuild. Some people didn't have insurance. Some people were renters. Their whole lives and everything they ever owned is gone. So it's you got to look at not only rest in peace to the dead, but those that are still living are having to live through this, having to get through this. Imagine everything you've ever known ripped from you in a matter of seconds. Your entire town destroyed. All your belongings, all your pictures, everything that meant something to you in this world. And I'm not talking about just materialistic things. But imagine not having a roof over your head, knowing how you're going to get one. You know what I'm saying? That's stability. Imagine every memory, every picture, everything that meant something to you is gone. And you can't get that back. All those pictures, all those, things passed down from generation to generation to generation that could have been destroyed, that has been destroyed. Those are things you can't get back, you can't replace. No amount of money will replace them. Pictures of dead loved ones that you don't have copies of. And I'm going to tell y'all something. This is a little something I'm going to say. If you know that you have like pictures that can't be replaced, best bet is to create copies right? Create copies, put those up on your walls, and take those originals and keep them someplace safe. I know a lot of people actually download their pictures and stuff on drives and stuff like that, and they keep them in safety deposit boxes at the bank. I know people who actually do that. Keep their land documents and different things in safety deposit boxes at banks. That's just a sad situation if you think about it. But I'm gonna scroll here and see what's going on the YouTube streets. So, ooh, ooh, Mr. Matty, what you talking about on your wall? I wonder if Mr. Matty's in here right now, or if he's gonna come in. I'm like, what he talking about on his wall? What's the adult? Who's the adult in this situation? I'm confused. I will say a lot of people on here act like they're gangsters or they're G or they're from the streets, or they about that life, and a lot of them wouldn't be able to make it in that life for 5 seconds. I admit I have never said good morning, Miss Jessica. I have never said that I'm about that life. Yes, I have fought, yeah, all these other things, but I've never stated that I'm in a gang or all this other shit, even though I've been affiliated with a lot of different people. There's a difference between affiliation and actually being a part of something, right? But a lot of these people act like they're gangsters, they're mobsters, they're this, they're that, they're the next thing. And a lot of them wouldn't be able to fight their way out of a wet paper bag. I'm just saying, real recognize real. And when you see pussy punk bitches, you just got to call it out because that's what they are. I see a lot of them people acting big and bad and like they're about something. And I'm like, no, they can't fight their way out of a wet paper bag. Just pray for the poor little things. Po little things. Po little things. They think they big and bad, but really they not. And I'm going to tell you something. A person that has ever lived in that life or been around it will tell you one simple thing. There's always somebody bigger and badder than you out there. And one day somebody gonna pull your whole card. You just hope it ain't today. That every time that anybody I know is ever like the fighters, the real people that I know who be about that life, you just hope and pray today ain't the day somebody pulls your whole card. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You pray today ain't the day that it actually happens, right? Because you never know when you get into a fight. You cannot judge a person based on their size. You cannot judge it based on their looks. Because I'm going to tell you something. I've seen some skinny mofos that were strong as shit. I've seen some big mofos that were weak as hell. You know what I'm saying? I've seen some women that were 300 pounders that couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag. I fought some of those bitches and whooped their asses. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can't judge a person by that either. Just like, I'm a very nice person, right? A lot of people know me for my kindness. A lot of people know me because I'm respectful and I respect others, right? That's what a lot of people know me for, is being a sweet, kind person, right? But there's a side of me that a lot of y'all don't know and have never seen because I don't that's not what I lead with. That's not, that's not something I'm proud to tap into, if that makes sense. I don't like playing with my crazy side. Leave that bitch alone. Let her stay in the corner. Okay? Because that bitch can get real psycho. You don't want her to do that. Leave that hoe alone. I leave that hoe alone. I don't even like messing with that hoe. Right? And every one of us have that ability. That's what people don't understand about the human mind. Right? When we talk about the human mind and we talk about mental statuses, a lot of us are just chill people. We want to sit back in the cut. We want to have a good conversation. We want to be, just calm, cool, collective. But if you push a person to a certain extreme, you're going to see a side of that person doesn't even like to bring out. That's like, Mr. Amari, if you're still here, I know they're trying to push you to do something that you technically don't want to do. You've begged them to stop. You've begged them to not do specific things so you don't have to cross that line. You don't want to cross that line, but you're being pushed to it. And a lot of people don't understand when you push a person and you keep pushing and you keep poking and you keep pushing and you keep poking and they go to that extreme, I'm sorry, but at that point, it's your own damn fault. Especially when they beg them to leave them be. Yep. It makes you shake uncontrollably. I'm going to tell you something, Miss Jessica. I know that you're one of the, just by what I've seen of you in chat, what I've spoken to you, that you're one of the sweetest people, right? But I bet you 101 there is a side of you that you don't want to even let out. You don't want to play with her, and you don't like when people push you to that extreme. Because you know how far you'll go, and you're like, I don't want to do that. Usually the nicest people that I've ever met in my life don't claim to be fighters, never claimed it in their life. But I promise you, that's the person you don't want to push. That's the person you don't want to put in the corner. Because they gonna come out swinging. See, Miss Jessica, I be knowing. I don't know how I be knowing. You know what I'm saying? I just be knowing stuff. Like I could be around you for 5 minutes and know the content of your character just from talking to you for 5 minutes. I don't know what it is about me, but I have like a sixth sense about people, right? I have to spend a little time with them. I have to talk to them a little bit, right? But I do have that sixth sense. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you something. That's the ones that people need to look out for. Like, I'm going to say this American Honey, one of the sweetest people I know on these streets, right? One of the sweetest people I know on these streets. I would not push her to an extreme. Because I'm going to tell you something. Kindness only goes so far. And there are certain people, they don't like being mad. They don't like being angry. They don't like fighting and doing those things, right? They just don't like it. And I see her as one of those people that it's the quiet ones. I tell people, you don't want to push the quiet ones into a corner. And I'm the type, if I shut the fuck up, see, there's a lot of us that's like me too, that we loud, we boisterous, you know what I'm saying? We talk, we laugh, we giggle, we hee hee ha. But if we shut up and stop speaking, that's when you should worry. Because when we become silent, we're thinking. You don't want us to think. You want us to you want us to not pay attention to you. Point blank period. Your best bet is to leave a person like myself and many others that are like me alone, because you're taking our kindness for weakness. But no, what you don't understand is that the reason we're not doing those other things is because we don't know how far we'll go. We don't want to go that far. That's why we're so kind. That's why we're so loving, because we really don't want to bring that crazy side out. I'm just saying. Hey, good morning, TT. How you good doing this morning, Miss TT? Now, Miss TT, I'm gonna say what I've read about, the time that I've gotten to know you, right? I see you as that person that's just like, when you walk in a room, you light it up, right? And you can conversate with pretty much anybody in that room. Doesn't mean you want to all the time. Doesn't mean you want to. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you'd be like, I don't even want to speak right now. But you just have that aura about you that, people just gravitate to. And I'm gonna say this: it's the ones that people are unassuming that they shouldn't mess with, because those are the motherfuckers that's gonna come out like swinging and banging. I've always seen it that way. I'd rather mess with the loudmouth that's talking all that yang yang bullshit. Yeah, the quiet ones. That's what I was saying. And basically every big girl that I've ever fought always, or every person I've ever fought, always had that yang 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 yang. Um, so it's the quiet ones, the ones if you push them into a corner. Miss TT, can I ask this question? Do you have a crazy side that I think about? Because I'm telling you something. I'm good at reading people, and I think you got that like sweetest personality, but then you got that I will snap on a bitch in like 2.5 seconds. I think you got that in you. I think it's just you're the type to you would rather walk away than get to that point. I think you would rather just walk away and say nope and bye before you get to that point. But I do think you got it in you. I will say that. I could just tell, I'm telling you. But I think Miss TT would rather just say, nah, I'm good. Bye. That's why I say you got that nope factor. Nope. Bye. Peace. Like you, okay. See, I see you as that friend that's sitting over there in the corner, and if somebody mess with you, other people take up for you. I'm going to guess, TT, that when people have messed with you in the past, that so many people love you that you didn't even have to say nothing your damn self. You didn't even have to say nothing. That if somebody did mess with you, somebody else was like, you ain't gonna mess with TT like that. That my TT. What you time at? And I'm your crazy friend that'll do that for you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I do think a lot of us are that way. I'm gonna say that. A lot of us that have come together, and then we have. I'm gonna say in the group of the ones that we know, right? We have a lot of people that are like me, you, Miss Jessica, Miss TT, right? We're sweet, kind people and stuff like that. But then we have our crazy friends, and we need our crazy friends, okay? Because they balance us out. We need our friends that are ready to go to war and punch a bitch in the face and poke a hoe in the eye. I'm just saying, we need that because it balances us out, right? Everybody can't just be the nice one. Somebody got to be the mean one every once in a while. Hey, racist stars, love. And I'm going to say this. What I see, and this is just my personal opinion from Watcher, she is a loyal person until you cross her. And then when you cross, and you have to cross her quite a few times because she's very forgiving. She'll forgive, 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 forgive. But you have to do something that's unforgivable, right? Like mess with her children or her grandchildren and so on and so forth. Um, and she's ready to, go. And if you mess with somebody she loves, she's ready to go. I see Mr. Fumble. I'm gonna tell you, he's the one that he. What I see from Mr. Fumble is that he's got that heart that if somebody were to mess with UTT or with Racing Stars, that he would take up that beef knowing it's not even his beef because he don't like when somebody messes with people he loves and cares about. That he's ready to go to war. You know what I'm saying? He's a protective gentleman. I see that about Mr. MRE, Mr. MRH. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Redzilla, Mr. Parasite Slayer, Mr. Maddie. When they care about somebody, and specifically a woman, and a man attacks that woman, I see them being the type of man to stand up, not stand by and cuss a motherfucker out for it. Mm-hmm. Like we have, like I'm gonna say this, Mr. Rubin is one of the chillest motherfuckers I think I've ever met in my life. Like I don't know if I've ever seen him hot under the collar mad yet. Cause he's so damn chill. Like he's got such a chillness to him. I think I've only seen him angry once or twice. Like, I think, and it wasn't even anger, it was more so disappointment or just being like, I don't like your actions. But like anger, I don't think I've seen him like angry yet. Because he's just so chill. I think I've seen him upset at somebody, like, I don't like your behavior right now. This is bullshit. But I don't think I've seen him like, I want to stab a bitch in the eye angry. Like, I just think he's a chill he's so chill that even when he's upset with someone, he's not angry about it. You get what I'm saying? Like, even when he's upset at somebody, he's still not angry about it. He's disappointed. Actually, he's the type of person that could say they're disappointed in you and make you cry like a little bitch. I'm just saying. He got that aura about him. He's just got that, even though he has no kids, he has, what he don't understand is he has that vibe of a father figure. You get what I mean? Like, he could be like, I'm so disappointed in your actions right now. I'd be like, Mr. Ruben's disappointed me. I'm going to cry like a little bitch. He just has that aura about him, does he not? And he's so laid back, so chill. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot. I think it would take a lot to push him to an extreme. I really do. I really do. It's just he just seems so laid back. I'll say that I think Miss Danny is a little spitfire. Like, when I say a spitfire, I mean that she's chill, she's laid back, extremely intelligent, but don't insult her intelligence. Because I bet she ain't but like 5'2" in height. I don't know how tall she is, but I bet she ain't but like 5 foot something, if that. Because she seems like the type that you'd have to grab by the middle of the stomach and they legs be steadily kicking and they arms be steadily swinging. Like, if it's I'll say this: what the way that I see Miss Danny is that she's super intelligent, so therefore, if in case she knows that it's below her, it's beneath her, she's gonna ignore it. But if it pisses her off if they mess with the people she loves, I could see her being a little spitfire, right? Miss Betty, she's super chill too. That's one thing about her. Even when she's angry, you don't even know when she's angry because she's so chill. Like, oh, I hope you feel better, Mr. JB. Make sure you get your sleep, drink plenty of water, huggies. We love you, so feel better. And if you want to fall asleep and then have funny dreams, you can listen to me until you fall asleep, and then maybe you'll have a stupid funny dream because I'm dumb. And it's awesome. I hope you feel better, though. I don't know why you had to take Benadryl. I don't know if it was for allergies or what, but I hope you feel better. That's somebody I love too. Now, Mr. JB Longwinded, to me, he has one of the, like, he's a great conversationalist, but a lot of people take his intelligence and the fact that he's chill and laid back on other people's platforms that he won't cuss a bitch out. No, he will cuss a hoe out. He just don't like to. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? He likes to be chill. He likes to have good conversations. But don't push him. You don't want to see that. Mm-mm. I think that a lot of people here are also extremely cunning, and the intelligence in this sector that I've seen. Technically, there's no name for the sector. Um, I would call it, family. But that's my saying. Um, I think there's a lot of extremely intelligent people that are not just intelligent but cunning. If that makes sense, like, y'all can see the bullshit from a mile away. Like, you notice this be some bullshit. Yeah, that's some motherfucking bullshit. And I'm gonna say this right now. With the situation that just happened, I ain't no way in hell I would ever do that. I would never do that to someone I say I love. I would never do that even if we're fighting. Like, here's the thing. Me and my sister could be fighting right now. Right now. And somebody talks shit about her that don't know her, and I'm gonna cuss them smooth the fuck out. Don't you talk about her like that. Don't you do that. No matter if me and her fight and me and her don't like each other. You know what I mean? Even if me and my mama was in a fight right now, ain't no way somebody could get her on the phone to talk about me. Cause my mama tell him go fuck themselves. I mean, just point blank, period. My family don't believe in snitching on each other, and my family don't believe in talking shit. So if they are, they're not family of mine. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that. If they ever try to claim they got a long lost cousin they talk to, they most likely ain't even kin to me. You realize there's like 4 different sets with my last name, maybe 6 or 7 different, like, when you look down a family tree that ain't even kin to me. They ain't even nowhere near. Mm-mm. Ain't even long lost. Twice removed, 3 times removed. And I'm gonna say this: there's a lot of people that one of the reasons why you really can't find nobody to interview is because most of the people that actually know me ain't gonna interview with me. The ones that interviewing with you don't know me. They don't. They claim they do, or they're pissed off because they can't fight one of us because they're a pussy punk bitch and nobody likes them, or they're assholes. And most of the things that I've been seeing about these interviews are people who don't even know the person. Like, they don't even know them at all. They know nothing about them. They're making up lies and bullshit. It's just, I'm like, at least get somebody that knows somebody who knows something about it, who knows something about it. It's not even bothering the people he thinks it's really bothering. It's not really hurting them because they knew what to expect from that person. And or they don't even know that person. They're like, just doesn't hit. Sorry. Hold on just a minute, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. I had a phone call come in. Hey, Miss Predicta. Hey, Mr. Farmer Fred. Yeah, I was muted. It was no sound because of that. I had a friend call me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes my phone be ringing because friends be calling and people's in my life. So I apologize. I apologize. I apologize for that. I'm telling you, racing. I have been missing. Yeah, it was BV, y'all. She was like, it's me. But I be missing some of the dumb shit that be happening on some of these shows. It just be a lot of dumb shit sometimes. Some of the narratives that be spun, they be dumb as hell, and you be like, nah, I'm good. I ain't gotta listen to all this bullshit. But I have been missing some of the drama that's been going down. Um, I've been like trying to keep up with more things that are more prevalent, like the situation that's happening in Texas right now with all the people who, 10 children remain unaccounted for, over 100 dead. You know what I'm saying? That's something that is real life that happened. You know what I'm saying? That's going on right now in the world. Um, I'm trying to sit there and look on community walls and see what I've missed. Um, and see if there's anything that's actually worth reporting on. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this really, yeah, it's just not. It's not really worth reporting on. Well, I'm gonna say this: at least with it being a busy month, race and love, at least you were not bored, and probably some cool things happened. If something bad happened, I'm praying and everything because you know how I am. I hope the family's okay and everything's good, and I hope the busyness is from good things and not bad things. You know what I mean? I will be now. I will say this: my live schedule for next week. I will be going to New York next week. So, and I'm only going to be gone for a week, maybe less. Because if we get everything done, we're going to plan to come back and whatnot fairly early. Um, so we're only going to be gone for about a week, and then we'll be back. So my live schedule is going to be a little off next week. So if y'all don't see me like you normally do, just know it's because of that. Also, this week on the 10th, which is Thursday, we have my son's liver doctor appointment for his specialist. So hopefully we'll find out more information on what's going on with that. Good morning, Mr. Buster. How you doing? So we'll know more of what's going on with his liver and all that other stuff and what the doctor recommends, and probably do more blood work to see if the enzymes are going down or not. You know, don't even know why they jumped up, because sometimes that's why I tell people to make sure that they have their get their blood work done at least once a year, because you never know, right? And your blood work and catching things early sometimes can be life saving. Oh, that's awesome, actually. Thank you for becoming a member. Look, I got a new member, and it's my sister from another mister, my Vivi. Thank you for becoming a member, Vivi. Um, that's actually really cool, racing. So, and I hope that y'all have fun camping this weekend. See, you're going out and touching grass. I'm going to say this: more people should go out and touch grass and have fun and enjoy life, because this YouTube shit will still be there when you get back. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. Think about it. And they still gonna be doing the same dumb shit that they did 2 weeks ago. I did, Mr. Buster. I said a prayer this morning, early in the broadcast, I said a prayer to the Lord about what's going on in Texas right now, what's going on in the world, and you know, more people need to look at what's really going on around us, what's in the news, like what is going to affect you in your real life. Now, I did hear that in the Brian Colbert case or whatnot, that he pled guilty to the charges or whatnot. Oh, and update for we were talking about this. Travis Decker possibly spotted in Idaho, U.S. Marshals investigating. So he might have been spotted in Idaho, y'all. Remember where we were talking about the Idaho shooting and they thought it was him? Oh snap! What if it was? Whatnot. Um, it says a family claims to have seen a person in the Bear Creek area of Sawtooth National Forest who matches that of Travis Decker. So he could possibly be in Idaho in the national forest, which would make sense if he had been hiking from the national forest. If he was traveling through the forest system, he could make it that way. You know what I'm saying? And very simply be there. And I'm trying to sit there and see if they're showing any updates on the um, stuff. I just want to know why so many people going crazy nowadays, just murdering people and run around like they fucking lost their last mind. It says judge rejects Brian Colbert's request to delay trial. Let's see if there's any updates on Brian Colbert. That was June 27th. So, um, but he's supposedly going to be pleading guilty to what he did. So, um, I'm going to say this: how, as a parent, that's fucked up, Mr. Buster. A pediatric doctor was mocking the flood victims who are Trump supporters. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter, a Biden supporter, or whoever fuck you support politically, right? Ain't no reason to mock the death of someone because they're a specific political party's, um, like you like a specific political party. I'm gonna tell you something. One of the reasons why I didn't like my old neighbor for being a Trump supporter was not because he was a Trump supporter. It was because that he said he couldn't be friends with nobody that ain't. It was because of how crazy he was about it. That's why we like picking on him, and he thought we were whatever. We like picking at him for a reason, because that dumbass is fucking crazy. He's literally one of those crazy people. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like something or something else, he gonna go off the rails about it. That that's what irks me about that shit. Like I ain't there ain't no politician that has ever run for office that I'm going to worship more than Jesus, and he pretty much does. I There is no political party or political politician that I like. I don't like none of them. They all lawyers. They all got the diabetes. Every damn one of them. I don't like none of them. I just tell the truth. I don't like none. So far, I ain't seen one that makes me go, ooh, I like. Now there was this one lady. I can't remember her name. But I liked her. She was I can't remember her name though. Uh, she she was a state senator or representative or something like that. I liked her policies. I forgot her damn name though. I don't know what party she was with because I don't adhere to parties. I adhere to what the fuck you gonna do for my people. I'm an independent thinker, and I ain't gonna say I like you just because you a specific party. I want to know what you gonna do. So the mom is silent, and the stepdad or the is all over YouTube talking. That's crazy. So it's Lily and Jack Sullivan. Let's see if there's an update on that. I'm gonna look up. How do you not know where your kids are? That's I don't see how people lose whole children. Let's see what the update is. I'm gonna read y'all. Lily and Jack. We're going. And it says NS missing kids. Why policing experts believe case now. Okay, I'm gonna read this article for y'all on this situation. So I'm gonna share this, Miss Jessica. That's one thing I don't know is like, how do your kids vanish? How do you not know where your kid is at all times? I know where my kid is at all times. I can pretty much tell you where he gonna be at, what he gonna be doing. When he was little, specifically, I know exactly where he was at when he was there, what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you? How does your child go missing without you knowing it? I can understand if like kids go missing. I get that things happen, right? I can understand if you're allowing somebody else to watch your child, right? And they're not doing their due diligence, right? But as a parent, how do you not know? Like you can lose your like Miss Jessica, facts. You can lose your vape pen. How do you lose your kid like that? I'm fixing to show you Miss Racing Stars. I actually pulled up the case so we can actually read over it together, to know their age and all these other things. So that, people who are not familiar with this case can get familiar with it. So I'm going to present screen. I'm going to go to the Wikipedia first, and there's an article I'm going to read. Okay. They seem to be very young. Uh, Missing for 2 months and 5 days uh, in Nova Scotia on May 2nd, 2025. Uh, Lily Sullivan, Lily Sullivan is 6 years old, and Jack Sullivan is 4 years old. Canadian siblings Lily and Jack disappeared from their rural home in Gerlach Road in Loudon Station, Pictou County, Nova Scotia. I hope I said that correctly. If not, I'm so sorry. I'm not from there. I tried my best. On May 2nd, 2025, a large scale search effort was undertaken in the days immediately following their disappearance, which was mostly scaled back on May 7th, after no trace of the children were found. Several further individual organized search efforts have taken place in the weeks since, which have not resulted in any significant findings. Police investigations into the disappearances have included interviews of at least 54 individuals, some of whom were administered polygraph testing. Authorities have stated there is no evidence that the children were abducted, but they have not ruled out that the disappearance is suspicious. The case has captured widespread attention both across Canada and around the world due to the unusual circumstances surrounding the disappearances. As of June 2025, the government of Nova Scotia is offering a reward of up to $150,000 for information that is deemed to be of investigative value to the search of the missing siblings. The Sullivan siblings lived with their biological mother, Maleha Brooks Murray. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. And their stepfather, Daniel Martel, in a rural property on Gerlach Road in Lansdowne, Nova Scotia, describing as being surrounded by woods, steep banks, and thick brush. According to Martel, both siblings were kept home from school on both Thursday, May 1st, and Friday, May 2nd, because Lily had a cough. They had also not been at school on Wednesday, April 30th, because there was no school due to a professional development day for teachers. The siblings were seen in public with family on May 1st, the day prior to their reported disappearances. On the morning of May 2nd, Martell and Brooks Murray claimed that while they were both in their bedroom with the 1-year-old daughter, with their 1-year-old daughter, Lily came in and out of the bedroom several times, and Jack could be heard in the kitchen. Shortly afterward, they say that they could no longer hear either of them and never saw the two children again. Martell stated his belief that the siblings likely opened the home's back sliding door, which is purportedly silent when operated, and went outside. Brooks Murray stated that she and Martell looked for the siblings outside, yelling out for them around 10 a.m. Brooks Murray called, now I'm going to call bullshit. I'm sorry, I got to stop reading, y'all. I call bullshit. Let me explain to you why. I have a sliding glass back door, right? And when you shut that sliding glass back door, and it's heavy, it's not like light to swing open, a 4 and 6-year-old are going to have a little trouble getting it fully open. And if they did open it, it would have been left open. And or when they closed it, it would have been cracked. You would have noticed it. It wouldn't been that easy. And it makes a noise when you slide it. It is not silent. That is bullshit. You ever opened a sliding black door? They're more silent than a front door. Yes, it don't creak or nothing like that, but it still makes a noise. You can hear it when it slides. I call BS on that. And I also, why did they stay in the bedroom when you hear the kid in the kitchen? What if the kid turns on the stove? What if the kid gets into chemicals? What if the kid decides to destroy the kitchen and they decide to get into all the flour, meal, or food and destroy it all over the kitchen? Why would you leave a 4 and 6-year-old roaming the house without watching them? That is bullshit. Because I would never have left my 4-year-old running around the damn kitchen. I would never leave my 4 and 6-year-old running around the house like little heathens. All kind of shit be toe up. Think about it. Anybody in here that has ever been a parent or watched children, would you leave a 4 and 6-year-old alone? And if you specifically heard them in the kitchen, would you not get up and go into the kitchen if you heard the 4-year-old in the kitchen? Sounds like some bullshit to me. Sound like the parents need to be investigated. This is my shit. Okay, May 2025 at 12:25 p.m. ADT. On May 2nd, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police issued a statement notifying the public about the disappearances, asking anyone who may have information to come forward. What it sounded like to me, they did something to those kids after they got back May 1st and tried to hide whatever happened on May 2nd. And I bet you 100 to 1 that somewhere around that property, they done threw them kids down a damn ravine or something. That shit pissed me off. I don't know why it always does. It makes me so mad when people do bad things to children. I think they tried to cover it up. And I think if you looked around that property somewhere where they had steep drop-offs, they pushed the kids down into something to make it look like an accident. They did something to them kids. I'm sorry. But first off, how's this? Have you ever? Okay, let me say this. I would like to be able to pick up that sliding door they supposedly have and move it and see how easy it is to move, because my sliding glass door being new is actually hard to pull open and close sometimes. And I know a 6-year-old would have trouble with it. My sliding glass back door actually has a lock on it. So why wasn't it locked? Why did you just let the kids run around knowing you had a door they could easily go out of? Why wasn't you watching your 4 and 6-year-old? At the very least, they still should have charges for child neglect and child endangerment until they can figure out, the herder. Because I'm going to tell you, them babies ain't here with us no longer. And I'm sad about that, because that's where this is leading to. I just hope they find the babies' bodies and can put these two behind bars. That's just, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to say, but these two beautiful babies probably are no longer with us. I'm so sorry, Lily and Jackie had pieces of shit parents. I'm so sorry, babies. I hope y'all are on to a better place. I'm so sorry, sweethearts. Let's just share this because that shit pissed me off. You know that shit pissed me off. You know how I am about children. Ooh, makes me so mad. A Nova Scotia missing kids. Why policing Ashurst believe case is now a criminal investigation. Policing Ashurst believe Nova Scotia kids' disappearance is a criminal investigation now. Let's watch this video. Well, after this, we have to wait till after. They always give us the things. We're going to watch this video, but this stuff always makes me so angry. I get angry. I don't know why people got to do kids dirty like that.
Surprise.
It's been almost 6 weeks since Lily and Jack Sullivan were first reported missing from their home in Lansdowne Station. On Wednesday, the RCMP in Nova Scotia said many RCMP units, including Major Crime, are involved in the investigation, along with the National Center for Missing Persons. Police say they formally interviewed 54 people in their search, and this former Halifax regional police officer doesn't take that lightly.
They're out there, and the only way they're going to see or get results in this is to be out there talking to people, looking at videos, looking at topography and what have you, and so on. They're not in offices doing this by a laptop. Let's put it that way.
In an update this week, the RCMP say they've collected hundreds of hours of video from areas surrounding Lansdowne Station between April 28th and May 2nd, when the kids went missing, and have received nearly 500 tips from the public. Police say they've searched every aspect of the family's home and received authorization to
I'm sitting there, looking and whatnot. How did they not hear this? This is an old home, which means that door is not gonna. I don't think it's gonna open as silently as they say
received
it is.
authorization to seize and examine devices.
They'll go on the balance of probability.
Received authorization to seize from the public. Police say.
Okay, so they have a fenced in or supposedly halfway fenced in because you see there's holes in the fence right here, right? Backyard for the kids playing. Why would the kids leave the yard? That makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. Right? I think they need to be looking in these woods back here and need to search any gully and they need to search underneath this house, in my opinion, because it ain't got an attic. But there's I just don't believe this. I don't believe what the parents are saying about this story. Hey, Royal Court. Yeah, this is super sad. I don't understand why parents do this to their children. I just don't get it. If you didn't want to have kids, get yourself fixed. If you can't take the responsibility, don't have them. I don't understand why people unalive children. I think I will never understand that. I think the parents did it.
They've searched every aspect of the family's home and received authorization to seize and examine devices.
They'll go on the...
Heck, I wouldn't doubt it, Miss Jessica, as if, they did search underneath. I wouldn't doubt it if that door didn't shut properly.
Balance of probabilities based on the area that we fully searched with a lot of people. We can't find any evidence, be it a backpack, a shoe, or whatever. We can't find the kids. If you can't find them, somebody has to say enough is enough right now for searching those areas. So now we move to where? There's only one other option. A nefarious take to this. In other words, a criminal type thing. That's only my personal opinion.
Police say they've used polygraph tests in some interviews. This former polygraph examiner south of the border says the test is used to monitor how a person's nervous system responds to certain questions.
If somebody is successful in the test, then not that they're being eliminated, but they'll spend more time on people that are not successful. Not passing the test doesn't mean you're guilty or you're involved. It simply means that there's some issue there, maybe some knowledge, guilty knowledge.
Moriello says he's seen people pass tests who were later proven guilty. More than 160 search and rescue volunteers have scoured through the densely wooded area surrounding the children's home, but only a small boot print was found. Police continue to refer to the case as a missing persons investigation.
They're covering it all, everything they can. And you only do that in depth when there's a criminal investigation with major crime on scene. They're not there just because they're major crime. They're there to do their major crime work.
Mitchell Bailey, Global News, Halifax.
Those poor children. Yeah, they lived with the mom and the stepdad. They lived with the mom and the stepdad, and let me share. These are the two beautiful children. They live with the mom and the stepdad, and the supposedly stepdad's mom also lived on the property. I in an RV or something. I think that there needs to be let's see what this video says, y'all. Y'all hear my dogs playing? They something serious, ain't they? Oh, my dogs know they special.
Just over a week ago, the road behind me was still swarming with search and rescue personnel as RCMP resumed their ground search for 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan, who first went missing 3 weeks ago in Lansdowne Station. Now, this has been a story that has dominated headlines across the country and beyond as people speculate and wonder about what could have happened to these two missing children. Now, just because the road is deserted doesn't mean RCMP are finished with their investigation. In fact, they just put out a statement Wednesday calling on the public for more footage.
Investigators are now asking anyone who has dash cam footage or video along Garlick Road between noon on April 28th and noon on May 2nd to contact Northeast Nova RCMP Major Crime Unit.
They add RCMP are committed to exploring all possibilities in the case and have formally interviewed more than 50 people, with more interviews planned in the coming days. The children's stepfather, Daniel Martel, says he has been interviewed extensively since Lily and Jack were first reported missing. You mentioned last time we chatted that you'd offered to do a polygraph test.
That is correct.
Has that already happened?
That has happened.
Right. And did you get results from that yet?
I do have results, and I don't know if I can share those results, but they were good in my favor, we'll say that.
Martel says he is glad the police have put out the additional call for footage and is again asking anyone with information to come forward. Despite not having had contact with the children's mother, Malaya, since May 3rd when she left the search area, he says an RCMP liaison has been assigned to keep them both informed as the investigation progresses.
Trust the RCMP word, and I mean, you don't have to trust my word, but I'm the only one doing media for Jack and Lily, trying to keep the story alive and get them found.
According to RCMP, any future searches will be determined based on the course of the investigation. They say they've covered a 5.5 kilometer search area and received 355 tips so far in the search for Lily and Jack Sullivan. Ella MacDonald, Global News, Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia. The children's stepfather exploring all possibilities in the case and have formally interviewed more than 50 people, with more interviews planned in the coming days. The children's stepfather, Daniel Martel, says he has been interviewed extensively since Lily and Jack were first reported missing. You mentioned last time we chatted that you'd offered to do a polygraph test.
That is correct.
Has that already happened?
That has happened.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say that. I why ain't him and the mama too? You know, they've also said that him and the mama ain't had contact. So that's my question. And if we look at this trailer, right, and the RV right there, the grandmama lived in the backyard. How did she not see nothing? Even if she's the step grandmama, how did she not see that? If that's the RV that she lived in, you see that RV to the right, right? They say she lived there. She would have seen the back door. She would have seen the sliding glass back door, right? She would have seen it. They need to check those tarps right there. Pretty sure they probably have. They need to send in cadaver dogs at this point. I'm sorry to say it that way. But supposedly the mother lived there in this house with the stepfather. They heard the 4 and the 6-year-old up running around playing in the house. They last heard the 4-year-old in the kitchen. I still don't understand why the mama wasn't up watching her kids. Why are you in the bedroom with your 1-year-old and your boyfriend? You know what I'm saying? Instead of being out there checking on your 4 and your 6-year-old and they running around the house. I ain't never heard of a mama leaving their 4-year-old in the kitchen unattended, because kids get into everything. Oh, she left and never went back? You feel me? I'm gonna say something don't sound right here. It's been over 60 days. She ain't went back. She ain't went to go check nothing. She ain't went to go. She knows what happened to her kids. That's why she ain't been back. She ain't out there looking. She ain't out there looking for her kids. I'm gonna tell you this. I would be searching those woods every damn day if that was my child. How in the heck do you walk away from the area that your children were last seen in? You know what I'm trying to say? Red flag, red flag. Hold on, we're gonna look at this video right quick. Supposedly there was a pink blanket found too. I just have a feeling it's, and they saying that the stepdaddy is a walking contradiction. Hold on, let me see what this says right here. I gotta wait for the thing, and I'm gonna play it. We're gonna play some videos. We're gonna research this case. Okay, hold on. It says bombshell mom's half sister breaks silence. Let's look see if we can find that video. Bombshell mom's half sister. Let's see if we can find that. I'm trying to find us some news some updates. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're gonna watch this video right here. Hold on, y'all. I found us a new video. We're gonna share this tab instead. Okay. Hold on, wait a minute. Let's watch this shit.
I know the truth. I didn't kill Lily and Jack.
My heart tells me these babies are gone. My heart tells me that.
On May 1st, 2024, 6-year-old Lily Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother Jack were last seen in public with their mother, Malahia Brooks Murray, and stepfather, Daniel Martell. Surveillance footage confirmed their presence near Highland Square Mall in New Glasgow, Nova Scotia. From that moment onward, a crucial 20-hour window remains unaccounted for. It wasn't until the next morning, May 2nd, that Malahia called 911 to report the children missing.
I just gotta say something right quick. If the mama knows that he had something to do with her baby's death, why ain't she telling somebody on it? Why would she protect this man over her children? That's something that pisses me off. Why would you protect anybody? Anybody. I don't care if it's the father of the kids. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your auntie, your cousin, your grandmama, your grandpapa. I don't care who it is. Why would any mother or any woman or any man anybody for that matter, protect a adult over a child. If I knew that somebody was hurting a kid, I'm telling you right now, first off, I'm gonna punch the shit out of you. Two, I'm going to the popo and I'm snitching. I'm telling. I'm telling, and I ain't gonna let you get away with that shit. Ain't nothing you can't put the fear of God in me. I'm gonna protect those kids, and I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna have to take me out, cause you ain't taking my kid out. You gonna have to take me out with them. I ain't going down easy. I'm going down swinging, baby. And I would do it for not only my child, but other people's children. I'm going to say that right now. I don't know how any human being can sit there and allow another person to hurt a child in front of them and not say something and not do something. If I saw somebody beating a child in public, I'd probably go to jail. I'd probably go to jail because I would stop that shit. I would go. I'm just saying, I'm going to jail for assault if I see your ass beating on a kid in public. I'm going to jail. I admit it. I'm going to smile in my mugshot. Don't put your hands on children. Us adults have to protect the children. Protect kids at all costs. They're innocent and they cannot defend themselves. So us as adults have to stand up and defend. And how any mama could sit there and let a man do something to that kid? I'm going to hell or jail, and I'm smiling in my mugshot. And baby, you gonna have to take me out, cause you ain't gonna hurt my kid, or if I had multiple children, you wouldn't hurt my children. You'd have to hurt me, cause it ain't happening. And I know many of the women and men that are in my chat right now would feel the exact same way. You ain't doing it. We going to hell or jail, baby, and we're going to smile in that mugshot. I'm going to be going, hi, in my mugshot. I'm going to be up in jail telling all the people in there what I did. Trust and believe that. I'm going to hell or jail. I'm going to be in my mugshots just a smiling.
Authorities responded immediately, redirecting search teams already in the area. The initial theory was simple: the children may have wandered off into the nearby woods. Search and rescue teams were deployed by air and ground, and over 100 community volunteers joined the effort. But despite extensive searches through dense forest, fields, and trails, there was no sign of Lily or Jack. As the hours passed, concern turned to fear. Authorities issued a vulnerable persons alert, but not an Amber Alert citing the absence of a known suspect or vehicle. The public began to question everything. How did 2 young children disappear in broad daylight? And why was no one able to find a single trace? Several weeks after the children went missing, the RCMP made a heartbreaking announcement: Lily Sullivan's body had been found. She was just 6 years old. The discovery marked a devastating shift in the investigation. In a statement released shortly after midnight, authorities confirmed her death but said it was not considered suspicious. No cause of death was disclosed. No details were offered. Just silence and sorrow. With Lily now confirmed deceased, the focus turned urgently to her younger brother, Jack, still missing and now believed to be in even greater danger. Public hope, already strained, began to fade. The once hopeful rescue mission now carried the weight of tragedy. The search intensified, with increased pressure on investigators to locate Jack before it was too late. In the face of growing desperation, the community rallied again. More volunteers joined the effort. More footage was reviewed. But no new leads emerged. The heartbreaking question began to settle in: if Lily was found, where is Jack? And why was only one child recovered? The answers remained elusive and the mystery deepened. On June 19, 2024, authorities took a decisive step. The disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan was officially reclassified as a serious criminal investigation. That same day, a $150,000 reward was announced for any credible information leading to answers in the case. The reward wasn't just a financial incentive, it was a signal. The investigation had entered a new phase, now handled under Nova Scotia's Unsolved Major Crimes Program, typically reserved for complex disappearances, abductions, and unsolved homicides. According to officials, the reclassification reflected the gravity and urgency of the situation, especially with one child confirmed deceased and the others still missing. By this point, the RCMP had received over 500 public tips, conducted 54 interviews, and gathered hundreds of hours of surveillance footage from around the children's last known locations. Investigators were analyzing vehicle patterns, visitor activity, and timelines stretching several days before the disappearance. But even with increased resources and national attention, no suspect had been identified, and Jack Sullivan confirmed their presence near Highland Square Mall in New Glasgow, came forward to share his side. From the beginning, he was viewed by many as a person of
Sitting here trying now this video claims that they found Lily's body, but I'm trying to confirm that right now. I don't know if this video is lying. You can tell this is an AI video that somebody made. I haven't found an update that they found Lily's body. So I'm trying to see if that is true. Because that's what this this video says, and the video keeps saying 2024. This happened in 2025. So yeah, the video is lying. So this video, please discredit this video. I am sorry for showing it because I did not know that it was a fake, and I apologize. That is false reporting. Lily's body has not been found. So we're not watching this video. Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to find, like an interview of something, because they said that some of the family members have broken their silence. So I wanted to hear their words from them. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just going to jump in here because the RCMP in Nova Scotia are providing a live update in the ongoing search for two young children, Lily, Jack Sullivan. They have been missing for most of May, last seen on May the 2nd. The RCMP now asking for the public's help. Any video they may have. Let's listen into some of this now.
Underwater recovery team and several aircraft scoured a heavily wooded 5.5 square kilometer area before search efforts were scaled back on May 7th. Additional searches took place on May 8th, May 9th, May 17th, and May 18th. Any future searches will be determined based on the course of the investigation. RCMP officers from various teams are fully engaged in finding out what happened to Jack and Lily. We're using all tools and resources to determine the circumstances of their disappearance. I'm going to just repeat that section. RCMP officers from various teams are fully engaged in finding out what happened to Jack and Lily. We are using all tools and resources to determine the circumstances of their disappearance. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Jack and Lily, or who has video footage to share with police, is asked to call the Northeast Nova Major Crimes Unit. To remain anonymous, you can also contact Nova Scotia Crime Stoppers. Is there anyone here who would like that done in French?
All right, so we're just bringing you.
That's pretty much. I mean, they're sitting there saying, and to me, this is some of the weirdest. How do you? And Miss Jessica says Belinda Gray is the kid's grandma. Her son has not seen the children. She is the only one that has a normal, and her heart is broken. Oh, tell her I'll be in there in a minute. Okay. So how can a mama just not even care? Because that's what it feels like to me. Like she doesn't care about her children. I'm trying, trying to see if they've showed any interview to find some interviews about a lot of these AI videos are falsities, and I do not want to report on falsities. But it just kills me how the mother, you know what I'm saying? How can you not care? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense to me.
Looking for the higher probability areas around waterways.
Evidence being found.
The boot print was on the pipeline, which is why we're extending our search efforts down the pipeline. We don't know for sure it was from the children.
Search focused on a trail.
I think that they had something to do with, the parents had something to do. The mother and the stepfather had something to do. You could type the creator if you would like. But it's messed up because I would like to promote their channel if they're doing the best thing possible for children. It's the saddest thing to me to see that a parent really just don't give two F's about their children. It's a crime shame is one of them, and another one is Daphne. So I'm going to try to see if let's see. It's a crime shame. Let's see if their videos are popping up here, and so I can share them out so that y'all can see. Let me just look them up right quick. I'm gonna look them up on YouTube. And we're going to share out their channel. Obviously, I'm not going to play their content because that's their content. And I don't have permission from them to do so. I could, but, you know, it's a crime shame. And I'm going to share out theirs, and I'm going to share out the other person so that all y'all can go over there and, you know, look at their videos of this. So I'm going to share out their video right quick. I'm going to share out their YouTube page, and we could, you know, and then the other one I'm going to Dolly Vision. Okay. And Daphne, we're going to look up Daphne's channel. And I'm going to share out their channel so that, you know, not only can y'all get, let's look up the channel. Maybe I can find their channel because you know how it is sometimes trying to find channels. Let's see. I think this would be them. I'm going to see. I'll look to see on their channel first before I share that out because I want to make sure I'm getting it right. But I know I specifically shared out the first one that you stated, but I want to try to. Hey, Sheka. But yeah, so I did make sure that a crime shame was shared out. I'm not sure which channel Daphne is or whatnot because there's so many of those. And I done looked under like 3 pages so far. Let me see if I can look under a different. I'm checking channels right quick. But you know that breaks my heart when that happens to children. I'm not on mute, am I? You can hear me? But I made sure that I shared out that channel specifically. I can't find the Daphne one. I may not have. I know I spelled it correctly. Oh, why did I put Danfy? That would make sense. It's misspelled. I did it myself. Let's see. Let's go to filters, channel. I don't know which one of these is the channel on that. Okay, I was just making sure. So that's just to me one of the saddest things when we see these cases where people do that to their children. How? I can't wrap my mind around it. I cannot, for the life of me, wrap my mind around why anybody would hurt their children. I just, and for the mother to be like not talking to the stepdad and not living with him anymore, she knows something's going on there. And I just hope the kids get justice, and I hope they find them. Because I'm sorry to say, but I don't think those babies are alive. I really don't. And you know, when kids been missing for 2 months and there's no, like, not a trace, you know what I mean? Not a trace. There's something bad there, you know what I mean? And all we can do is pray that the children found peace, and all we can pray is that the children get justice. And pray, it's sad, super sad. I don't understand it. I don't understand how adults could do that to kids. I think I'll never understand it. There's nothing, there's, you know what I mean? It's just kids. It really bothers me with these cases with kids. It really does. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Miss Jessica Lynn, for bringing this case to our attention, because a lot of us didn't even know about it or hadn't heard about it. You know what I'm saying? So we wouldn't know about Jack and Lily. So, thank you for doing that, because they need they need people to remember who they are. Because it seems like their parents really don't give a hoot. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad if the grandmother was. I like the picture this person has as a thumbnail, because I want to show this right quick. This is a picture, above picture of the property that they lived on. And so I'm not going to watch their video. I've seen this guy before. This is Dr. Todd. But if you look at, like, there's the trailer, right? There's the backyard. There's where the grandmother lived in her little area, right? And there is a possibility that they could have got out that front door with those kids and she wouldn't have saw a damn thing. But those kids didn't go out that back door and wander into those woods. I do not believe that is even a way. I believe that somewhere on that property, those kids are somewhere on that property. I'm trying to see if this is some of the interviews that he's done. I want to watch some of the interviews that he's done.
I know the truth. I didn't kill Lily and Jack.
It's been 6 weeks now since you've seen Lily and Jack. I just want to ask, how are you holding up?
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world at this point is always wanting to know, like, what happened. It's been from sadness to anger at this point. And I know the RCMP and Major Crimes are working around the clock trying to piece everything together, and I'm grateful for that. But it always leaves the question, 6 weeks has gone by, and we know at this point they're not in the woods. and where are they?
Did you feel in the beginning that they suspected you?
Of course. The stepfather was always a prime suspect right off the beginning.
You felt that from the beginning,
Yeah.
but you don't feel that now.
No, I don't feel that at all. I asked for the lie detector exam, the polygraph exam. I gave them my phone. I told them do drug tests because there's a lot of rumors online about a drug party. I know the person that said those rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of party?
No.
Was there any kind of gathering that someone might have thought was a party?
No.
There were no people at the house.
So why would the person need to take the heat off themselves? Did y'all hear him just say that? They made up that rumor to take the heat off themselves. Why would they need to take the heat off themselves? I'm going to replay that. I want y'all to hear that 5-second area where he said they wanted to take it off themselves. Why would they need to take it off themselves? Let's play that again.
Said those rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of party?
No.
Was there any kind of gathering that someone might have thought was a party?
No.
There were no people at the house?
No. Not the night before.
Okay, you mentioned you offered to take a polygraph test.
Yeah.
Did the RCMP take you up on that?
Yes, it did.
And how did that unfold?
I know y'all heard that. They said that to take the heat off themselves. Yeah, let's listen to him keep snitching.
That unfolded in my favor. They obviously know I wasn't lying about anything.
So they said, yep, great, thank you, come in
Yeah.
for a polygraph test.
Yeah, it took a little while to set up, and
When did you do that test?
I don't know the exact date, but that would be at least 3 weeks ago, probably.
So roughly 3 weeks after the disappearance.
Yeah.
And I think most Canadians wouldn't have any idea what's involved with that. Can you describe the process? You go in and just tell us right from the start.
We go in, sit down in a big comfy chair, and they have multiple sensory pads. You have them underneath your forearms, you have them underneath your butt, and you have them underneath your feet with your shoes off. You have a sweat gland on one finger. You have a measuring instrument for blood flow that goes in and out of your hand. And you have a cuff on your arm for blood pressure to measure your pulse.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous. Especially with the first question they asked you, did you kill Lily and Jack?
That was the first question they asked you.
Yeah.
Why would you be nervous? Why would you be nervous? Like, I wouldn't be nervous if I knew I didn't know anything. I would not be nervous about a polygraph exam if I knew I didn't do anything wrong. Just saying. Why would you be nervous when the first question they asked is, did you murder the kids? Why would you be nervous? This dude just making himself look guilty as hell. Is he not?
Yeah.
What went through your mind when someone's asking you that question so point blank like that?
Your mind has a massive release of chemicals, I guess you would call them. It's like your stress levels just astronomically through the roof, and your body doesn't know what to do, because it's not every day the way you're hooked up to machines in an interrogation room where someone asks you questions like that.
What other kinds of questions did they ask you?
All the questions pertain to the death of Lily and Jack. Are you accessory to the murder of Lily and Jack?
Y'all see the way he's wording things? I want y'all to listen real close. Don't just hear it. Listen. Really pay attention to what this dude is saying. I'm telling you, this dude guilty.
They were all.
So all of the questions assumed that the children are no longer alive.
Yeah.
There were no questions at all about, did you take them somewhere? Could
No.
they be somewhere?
No.
The police have done a number of polygraph tests. They've done 53 formal interviews. Do you know who these people are?
Yeah.
That's a lot of interviews.
It is a lot of interviews. A lot of them are my family, people that live in the area. And those interviews, typically my interview was 4 hours. And a lot of the interviews from my family were 1-2 hours. So there's a lot of time taken up, and they ask detailed questions.
Do you know who else actually took a polygraph test?
I mean, I do, but I'm not going to say anything that's going to impede the investigation.
Okay. When did you find out the result of your test?
Immediately right after.
What did they say to you?
You did a good job. You passed.
And how did that feel?
Good.
And did you feel that there was any further suspicion on you after that point, or was that sort of conclusive?
No, that was really when I seen the turning point for it's starting to taper off with investigators.
Do you know if Malaya has taken one?
I don't know if I can say it, but I will anyway. Yes, she did take one.
Okay, she took one. Do you know the result?
No. RCMP wouldn't let tell me I asked.
You said you feel like everyone in the world wants to know what happened to Lily and Jack.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think this is getting so much attention?
Well, just the mysterious and nature of everything and how strange everything is. The RCMP, you know, I mean, they have to keep a tight lip on everything, but there's a lot more that meets the eye with the case.
Is there something that you think the public doesn't know that you can share, that you want the public to know?
That's a hard one because I don't want to impede the investigation in any way. It is still a missing persons investigation. It hasn't pivoted to any type of criminal investigation. But the kids were seen the day before. I know a lot of people didn't know that. I still see a lot of stuff online that the kids could have been missing for days. They were out of school for days, and they were seen in the Glasgow area on camera the day before this appearance in the afternoon.
Where was that?
I don't know if I can say that, but it was near the Highland Square Mall.
Was it with you?
It was with me, Malaya, and Meadow, and Lily and Jack were there too.
And are the police aware of that?
The police were aware of that since.
Do they have that video?
Yes, they do. I also talked to my coworker in the parking lot as well, and he verified that with investigators as well. So for all the speculation, they were gone days ahead of time, or they were seen the afternoon on camera before this disappearance.
Why do you think the police are asking for video dating back, days before that?
Well, the reason for that is they want to see the traffic of the vehicles on the roads in the area, right? Maybe vehicles that were traveling that area a lot over the last few days prior to hand, or vehicles that, weren't seen in the area, or vehicles that were seen in the area, like local people that are, you know what I mean, making frequent trips past the house, or which it's all considered evidence. I mean, the more pictures and videos is the better.
They say they have hundreds of hours of video.
Mhm.
Do you know if they found anything on those videos?
I think it was up to 2 weeks ago, they had footage that they examined for evidence that was 8 kilometers diameter out from the house. So that was after a month. That's how long it took to get footage and review it 8 kilometers out. So
But what's on the video?
I don't know. I'm only limited by what they tell me.
How often are they in touch with you?
Investigators now, I'd say maybe once every 5 days. And usually I'm the one who calls or messages them.
And how's that changed over the course of the 6 weeks?
Well, from the beginning, it was almost daily, tapering off to where it's only like once every 5 days now.
And how do you feel about that?
It's good. It's good and bad. I mean, I like to talk to them in person about any little small details I come up with, or anything I can try to bring to their attention, which may help the investigation. So I don't get to see them often, so it's always over phone or messaging, and it's hard to really convey what you want to say when you're not in person. But then I also know the eye's not on me. The investigators don't see me as part of the disappearance.
How do you know that?
That dude is guilty. Guilty, 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 guilty. They don't see me as a part of it. So you're only calling every 5 days to see if they think you have something to do with it. And to try to keep their eyes off you. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm sorry, but I think this dude has something to do with it.
Well, when you're going from daily to tapering off every 5 days, I mean, I've already gave them everything on my phone. I'm the one who originally said, here, take my phone. We'll go through all my banking information. We'll go through all my stuff on my GPS from Google.
And you were offering all that up, right?
Yeah,
from
I
the
offered
beginning.
everything.
And why were you doing that?
To show them that I want to get the investigation moving. I know I have nothing to do with any of it. A lot of speculation is you killed the kids. Was come out and say it straight as it is.
What do you think when you read that?
It's a lot of nonsense, obviously.
Yeah, I find that extremely funny too, Rayson, of why she left him and hadn't been around him whatsoever. And she totally left his ass, took her kid and left. And something, I'm telling you that mama knows something. This dude did something, and I hope the truth comes out. I hope the truth prevails. After we hear this, we're going to listen to what the mama has to say, because I think I just saw a video of the mama right here. When I pause it, that lady right there, I think that's the mama. That's the grandmama. Basically step grandma. That's his mama.
I know the truth. I didn't kill Lily and Jack. And I just think a lot of people online they're seeking drama. That's the main thing. Everybody's allowed their own opinion, like I said before, but it's hard on the people that were actually there and missing the children. Still haven't got to see any of my kids, including Lily and Jack. And that's been really tough, going from a family of 7, including my other 2 kids that live in Halifax now. Going from a family of 7 in the blink of an eye, your family's ripped apart and you're left alone.
RCMP have confirmed that the 2 children who went missing in Nova Scotia's Pictou County nearly a month ago were seen in public the day before their disappearance. 6-year-old Lily Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother Jack have been missing since May the 2nd. Police say they were told the children wandered away from their home in Lansdowne Station. The disappearance sparked an extensive search. In an update today, the RCMP say they have collected hours of video from the surrounding area.
Based on details gathered so far, we have confirmed that Lily and Jack were observed in public with family members on the afternoon of May 1st. Investigators are now
Me that. I am. My heart tells me these babies are gone. My heart tells me that. I am the grandmother of Lily and Jack. I am the grandmother on the biological father's side. My son is Cody Sullivan. He's not in jail. He's never been out west. He does not have a criminal record. And right now he's living with me. He has been for 9 months.
How did you find out that Lily and Jack were missing?
The mama of my grandson called me. We were in town.
So I made a misstep. This is the father of the children's mother right here. So this is an interview with the father's mother, not the stepfather, the actual father, and he is living with her right now. I don't understand why he wasn't in the kid's life, but I hope she'll touch on that. I'm trying to find an interview, Racing Stars, with the mom, but I don't know if they've interviewed. Have they interviewed her, Miss Jessica? Do you know?
She asked if I heard the news. She sent me the article that was on Facebook showing the kids missing. I couldn't call Malaya yet, so I waited till we got home. And I called, well, I didn't call her, I texted her. And she told me that, yes, that the kids were missing, that they've been missing since this morning. I was in a state of panic, shock. But in the back of my mind, I kept saying, well, they'll find them. I mean, I'm assuming that they'd find them. So I told her, well, we'll head out first thing in the morning and help with the search. It was around between 3 and 3:30 in the morning. A couple of cop cars pull into the driveway. The lights wake me up that I'm a fairly light sleeper, so I see the cars pull in, so I knew what it was. So they come inside. They only stood in the kitchen. They wanted me to wake Cody up, and they wanted to know when was the last time he had seen the kids, and that they were just making sure that the kids weren't here. And then they left. So we showed up Saturday morning, me and my sister, and we met up with my daughter, and we started, well, I asked Malaya, I said, Malaya, I said, you know your kids. Nobody knows their kids like their mom. Where do your kids normally go to play out in the yard? What direction do they usually like to explore? And she said, well, they always play up in the little woods right on the side. I said, well, okay. I said, we'll start from that point and we'll work our way out. We had spoken to a search and rescue, and we weren't allowed on the other side because that's where they were searching at the time. So we just started combing through the woods up through there. We were gone for a couple of hours. I'm yelling for Lily and Jack. We always call Jack Jackie boy. And yeah, that went on for a few hours, but those woods, I started to feel that I can't see them being in the woods. There's trees everywhere. You literally have to climb over trees, climb under bushes. It is really, really thick. We come back out and I went in to see Malaya again. I assumed she was in shock. She was very non-emotional, very just flat, monotone. But Malaya's very soft-spoken anyway, that she's not usually excitable. I thought that's made her a really great mom. She was an excellent mom. She never raised her kid or voice at the kids. That it was always, now Lily.
Come on, Mufasa, let's get in some trouble.
What did Mommy say? And I used to think, now if anybody's meant to be a mom, it was her. A part of me still feels that.
Why only a part of you still feels that? What do you mean?
After seeing the place, seeing the condition of the home, it was like the total opposite of what I knew of Malaya. She was always clean, very clean about herself, about the kids, about her home. This home looked more like a camp. Now, I don't know if it's from all the people that were there because I didn't show up till the day after, but it was very unkempt. I was pretty surprised.
I love you.
Lily is, she was my little dream girl, that's the first granddaughter. And I loved that she had the brown hair and she had a space between her teeth, which I had when I was a kid. So yeah, she was our little princess. Jack was such a sober, serious little baby that he didn't like to smile. You could tickle him and he would look at you ever so serious, like he was really studying you.
And so how long were your son and Malaya together?
3.5 years, I think it was, yeah. I thought they were the picture perfect family. Then Malaya started to tell me that they were having problems and she wasn't happy. She told me that she wasn't happy and she thinks she's going to leave. And I told her that we supported whatever she decides, that one good parent is way better than 2 broken ones.
And then how did that change your relationship with Lily and Jack?
I thought it was going to change, but it didn't. Yeah, it didn't change. Malaya, She was a sweetheart. Anytime we wanted to see the kids, she'd come by for a visit. She'd bring them by all the time. It was actually really, really good.
So when was the last time you saw the children?
A year and a half, almost really. It's about a year and 9 months.
How did you deal with that?
Really, to be honest, maybe I didn't deal good enough with it. I looked at the fact that when her and my son separated, my son walked away. He chose to walk away, that she wanted sole custody of the kids. So she petitioned the courts for sole custody. And when she did that, he said he was done.
Were you ever formally questioned?
Yes.
So then it's about a month after Lily and Jack are last seen that they come and formally question you.
So it's about 3 weeks. They questioned Cody for an hour and a half in the vehicle, and then they questioned me for 2 hours in the vehicle.
How did that feel to you?
I didn't mind. I mean, to me, I expected I'm the grandmother, so it wasn't a surprise to me. I'm assuming the sooner they do all that, I wish they would have done it sooner, that the sooner they can move on. So I didn't have a problem. My son was a little upset about it. He said they made him feel like he did something wrong, and he said he hadn't seen the kids in 3 years. So he was a little upset about it. That he said that they really come at him hard. They wanted to know what her favorite color was, and he said they were babies when I seen them last. He said she was just learning what she wanted to figure out to eat. I don't know what her color is. So yeah, he was pretty upset.
Have they ever talked to him again since then?
A couple of days ago, they had contact, and they told him that they weren't looking his way anymore, that everything was fine.
And have they ever given you any information?
No, it's always the same thing.
Which is what?
They've got everybody on it. They are looking at all avenues. They can't divulge any information that could compromise their investigation. It's the exact same words.
Why are you so sure they're not in the woods?
I have children. I have grandchildren. And I see what kids are like through the woods. There's no reason for any child to wander deep into the woods. There's just not. I think somebody hurt these kids. I think somebody hurt them.
You don't sound very hopeful.
No. Our last day searching on Monday and seeing the woods and seeing the searchers and everybody everywhere. There's no way those kids are in the woods. There is nothing more pure and innocent than a 6 and a 4-year-old. And they deserve so much better than what they got.
Now I'm with the grandma on that. Prayers to Lily and Jack and the family that actually gave a damn about them. Because I'm also looking at this here. Let me show y'all something. These are text messages from Daniel Martell. Lily and Jack called me dad and came to me for everything. Never Malaha. She had no control over the kids. They were wild with her, and with me listened and were well behaved. I promised. Her mother, after the first search briefing, Michaela, completely changed. She couldn't even look at me. An hour before this, Michaela, basically, he's saying right here that, but 5 minutes alone with her mother after the first search briefing, Michaela completely changed. So she was with her mother, and her mother made her look at him weird or something. Is basically what he's stating. I'm trying to look at So I only wish I could tell you fine details surrounding Michaela and her family and the disappearance. I'll let you know that Michaela, Mahaya, or however you want to say her name, I'm gonna call her M from now on. M was set to stay with me, and hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's true, Catfish. I will say that right there. She said that her and the mother had a good relationship, and the grandmother said that she saw the kids quite often, but at the same time, um, you know, how do you not know what conditions your grandchildren are living in? How do you not go to their house, spend time, all these other things? So I you know, I feel you on that one. I feel you on that. It says right here. It says, "I'll let you know." M was set to stay with me, and the baby was to leave with my cousin. But 5 minutes alone with her mother after the first search briefing, M completely changed. She couldn't even look at me. An hour before this, M told RCMP she felt happiest and safest with me. It was a different M. I just feel he's guilty as hell. I'm trying to see if there's any of the interview on here and looking at these text messages. It says, "I love her more than anything. That will never change. I'm waiting for the chance to relive our first date over waterfalls and a walk on Big Island Beach with the Daniel you first met. She will know what that means. Lily and Jack called me dad and came for me for everything. Mahaya, so no control over the kids. They were wild with her and listened to me, were well behaved. I promised myself I'd always be there for him and the kids, and I'm holding that promise." That's what he says in his text messages, right? This is what the mom looks like. This is the dad, or the stepdad, should I say.
Said she asked him if she should call the police, which
Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any on here, any taping, because I can't find her interview. The mother did one interview after the kids disappeared. One. She hasn't been on tape since. She did leave. The stepfather has not been back with him since the kids went disappeared and whatnot. And so this is pictures of the kids and blah blah blah. I'm trying to see if they have any of the footage from that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Oh wait, hold on. I see a picture from it right here, I believe, but I don't know if they're going to play it. Let's see.
from Daniel, who claims Belinda saw Malia acting worried, but not grieving. More telling, Belinda reportedly asked Malia to leave the home with her baby just days after the children disappeared. An unusual and suspicious move. Why would she want Malia gone so quickly? Was it to protect her? Or to distance herself from something that had already happened? One of the most critical unknowns involves the
I don't think those kids walked out of there like that. Look, just yeah, I heard something about they were saying there was possible drugs involved and possibly a party that happened before the kids disappeared, like the day before. Yeah, she stopped bringing the kids to see the grandma once she got with this dude. So that's where his mom stays, right there in that camper. That's the backyard. And that's the I guess that's a barn of some sorts, because that looks like maybe chicken pens or something over there. Let's go back to the still shot. So this is the house and how it's surrounded by woods, right? And they're not far from the road. Now she claimed the kids were playing out in the front yard or got out the front door. So why would you not be watching your kids knowing you live that close to a road and you have all these woods and all this stuff around? Why? Like I'm sorry, but even if the stepfather did something, the mother is also at fault, because why the hell would you not be watching your kid? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to play this video from the beginning. I know it's a little long. I think it's Well, it's about an hour. Let's see. Text from Michaela. Let's. I'm gonna see. I think we've read most of these texts. Have you heard anything yet? We're going to school. Please keep me updated. No, I was keeping them home today because they were sick with a cold, and they got outside to the back door, and we can't hear the back door. They got outside. They like exploring the woods and playing in the woods. Why would you let your kids play in the woods unsupervised? That I don't understand. I just can't believe this actually happening right now. I never thought they would run off on me like that. I'm so distraught. You must be worried sick. Let me know anything at any time. I will. And yes, I don't know what to do. Where are your neighbors? Like, how close are your neighbors or something like that? Not too close. We live on Garlock Road. I heard they are bringing in other teams to searchers, hoping they're home soon. I hope so too. They've been missing since 9:40. So they've been missing since 9:40 by her terms. They wonder a lot. Why would you let your kids wonder? That I do not understand. To me, that makes absolutely no sense. This makes no sense to me. And he's more worried about her coming back to him, all this other bullshit. I want to do play from, I think it was from right here. This is insider related theories. I want to play from about right here.
Insider related theories. When it comes to the disappearance of Jack and Lily Sullivan, within the circle of the inconsistencies, among the people closest to them raise serious concerns. These aren't just small details that don't match, they're structural cracks in the story. Ones that point toward darker, more unsettling possibilities. One of the most widely discussed theories is that a tragic accident happened inside the home, and instead of alerting authorities, the adults involved covered it up. The timeline is the first red flag. Daniel Martel initially told authorities and the public that the children were last seen at 10 a.m. Later, in leaked messages, he quietly admitted that the 10 a.m. timestamp wasn't accurate. That admission is more than a correction. It completely destabilizes the entire narrative of that morning. Malaya, the children's mother, claimed they went missing at exactly 9:40 a.m., but Daniel also said that his mother, Belinda, heard the kids at 8:30 a.m. That means there's an unexplained 70-minute gap, and, in a missing child case, that's an eternity. What's even more alarming is that no one has clearly stated who first realized the children were gone. There is no documented account of the moment the door was opened, or when the first panic set in. Then there's the physical evidence, or lack of it. There were no signs of the kids walking away, no footprints, no scent trails picked up by dogs, no clothing or objects dropped in haste. Adding to the suspicion is the emotional tone, described by Daniel. Why would a mother whose children have just gone missing decide to relocate? Most parents would cling to the area, desperate for answers, unwilling to move an inch. Her quick departure could be interpreted as an attempt to distance herself from the scene before questions started closing in. All of this supports one central theory. That something.
Okay, so now we got a picture of the back here, right? See those steps and the way that is and whatnot? That sliding glass door right there, they would have heard that open. I call bullshit. I don't think I can zoom that in, but let me see if I can. I think I do have it full screen, so I was trying to zoom in and see. No, that is far close as we can get that picture. But if you look and whatnot, you're going to be able to hear it. Because see those curtains right there? Those are going to make noise. When they pull it across that slide right there, it's going to make noise. You're going to hear the kids go outside there. They can't go out that door. As you see, the damn back porch ain't even near the door. They would fall out and hurt themselves. Look at this mattress right here where the hole is dug. I hope they looked into that. You see that mattress right there? I hope they dug into that. Oh, and the quad was clean. Oh, that don't sound right. Something happened to them babies. I feel bad for the kids. Kids didn't deserve that.
Tragic happened in the house on the morning of May 2. It could have been an accident, something like a fall, suffocation, or sudden injury. Perhaps it happened while Daniel, Malaya, and the baby were in the room, as he claimed. What happened next may have been driven by fear of going to jail, fear of losing custody, or simply fear of blame. Instead of reporting the accident, the scene may have been staged to look like the kids left the house on their own. A door left open. No obvious struggle. A quiet setup meant to suggest they wandered off. This theory is hard to swallow. No one wants to believe that people could do such a thing, especially not to their own children. But the inconsistencies make it harder and harder to ignore. Contradictions in timing, unusual behavior, vague recollections, and he has never spoken publicly, made any statements to investigators, or been referenced in leaked conversations. The lack of basic procedural details adds to the concern. No one has explained who opened the door to discover the children were gone. There's no account of a frantic search in the neighborhood. No neighbors recalling hearing shouts for help. It's as if the most emotionally charged part of the day, the moment of discovery, was collectively erased from everyone's version of the story. Meanwhile, Daniel's own behavior raises red flags. In leaked messages, he admitted that the original 10 a.m. timeline was incorrect, which shatters any clarity about the morning's events. He also made emotionally ambiguous statements like, "I want to go back to the old Daniel," phrasing that implies regret, shame, or a desire to disassociate from recent actions. Furthermore, he attempted to have his own leaked messages scrubbed from public view, a move that often signals deeper concerns about legal or personal consequences. Then, there's Belinda Martell's role, which is perhaps the most shadowy of all. As the matriarch living just yards from the children, her voice should be central to this story. But she has remained publicly silent. The only quotes attributed to her come secondhand, from Daniel, who claims Belinda saw Malia acting worried, but not grieving. More telling, Belinda reportedly asked Malaya to leave the home with her baby just days after the children disappeared. An unusual and suspicious move. Why would she want Malia gone so quickly? Was it to protect her? Or to distance herself from something that had already happened? One of the most critical unknowns involves the white RV. Despite its proximity to the main house, there has been no disclosure about whether it contained security cameras, or if any footage was handed over to law enforcement. In an age where even doorbell cameras can provide vital leads, this absence of video evidence stands out. If the RV had cameras, and they were never reviewed or submitted, it would be a massive investigative oversight, or worse, a deliberate obstruction. Altogether, these details suggest a pattern of coordination, or at the very least, silent consent. Not necessarily a group conspiracy with a pre-planned motive, but a series of small decisions, silences, and omissions that point to a shared interest in maintaining a single version of the story. If a tragic accident occurred and was immediately recognized by someone in the house, it's entirely possible that multiple people agreed to frame the situation as a disappearance. The silence of Justin, the inconsistencies in Daniel's timeline, and the authoritative control shown by Belinda all support this idea. It's important to acknowledge that not all forms of complicity are equal. One person might have been the primary actor, while others, out of fear, confusion, or loyalty, chose not to speak up. But the result is the same, a version of events, shaped by more than one person, each playing a part in keeping the truth buried. This theory explains more than just the timeline gaps. It accounts for the emotional disconnection, the lack of urgency, and the absence of reliable first-person observations from those closest to the children. It also aligns with the subtle power dynamics in the household. particularly Belinda's apparent influence over both her sons and her control of the living environment. In cases of child disappearances, the most unsettling suspects are often not strangers, but those closest to the family. In the case of Jack and Lily Sullivan, one theory that cannot be ruled out is that the children may have been taken by someone familiar, possibly even a relative. The details scattered throughout this case subtly support the possibility of an abduction carried out by someone the children knew. It's also worth noting the way Malahia refers to Cody in her leaked messages. When asked about the situation, she says, "They want to ask Cody." The phrasing feels deflective, as if mentioning Cody was a knee-jerk reaction, a way to redirect attention. Whether intentional or not, it implies that Cody had already been on the radar in some capacity. The physical evidence, or lack thereof, further supports the theory of a non-violent removal. There was no sign of forced entry. No
I don't believe that the real father took the kids. I believe that something happened, and I believe the mama and all of them are covering up. Now, I don't know if the mama did it or the stepdaddy did it. Okay? I'm not sure about that. But somebody did something to those kids. One of these adults did, and whatnot. One of these adults did something to those children. You know what I'm saying? One of them adults did. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know if it was his, Belinda, they say she's not been on any interviews. So his mama ain't been on no interviews, and she lived on
and
the
Jack
property.
Sullivan, two siblings who went missing under still mysterious circumstances. Two individuals stand out not because they've spoken, but because they haven't. Belinda Martell and her son Justin lived just a few feet from the home where the children were last seen.
Oh, so his brothers lived on the property too. Y'all heard that right? His brother Justin lived in there with his mama. You think the mama did it? Because you think she would have snitched if the stepdaddy did it? I think the mama had something to do with it. It's mighty funny she moved away from there.
Yet their silence is deafening. Role-in residence Belinda Martell is the mother of Daniel Martell, the stepfather of Lily and Jack Sullivan. She is not a biological grandmother, but according to those close to the family, she had a grandmotherly presence in the children's lives. Belinda resided in a white RV, essentially a mobile home, parked just a few yards away from the house Malahia shared with Daniel. She shared this RV with her younger son, Justin Martell. This physical proximity placed her in a unique position, potentially one of the last adults to see or hear the children before they vanished. The morning of May 2nd, according to Daniel, Belinda was inside the RV, asleep, on the morning of May 2, the day the children were reported missing. Daniel claimed that as he started calling out for the children, Belinda woke up, came outside, and encountered Malahia on her phone. The detail Daniel chose to highlight was his mother's impression of Malia's behavior. She had a look of worry in her eyes that mom was home. No tears. She wasn't scared the kids were gone. Just a look of worry that she got caught for something.
So, he was going through a divorce. Ooh, child. There's a dude named Durwood or Darwin who came out speaking on behalf of Daniel's mom. Let's see. Let's see if we can find let's do some searches. I'm trying to find something right quick. Oh, I found an interview. I found the interview for the grandmama, Belinda. Or supposedly this is Miss Belinda. I'm not sure. Let me check, make sure this really is, because you know sometimes. And this interview goes on and for looks about an hour and a half. I'm gonna share this for y'all. Because I don't want to play this person's content. Obviously, it's their content. But the person's name for their channel is it's a crime shame, which is the person I just shared out a while ago. But I'm gonna share this specific video because she did do an interview with Belinda, the step grandmama. That's the step grandmama. The one who was in the RV. So that's Jack and Lily. Her name is Belinda Gray. And that's what she went by on the StreamYard link. So that this situation is crazy and it goes even further. We'll keep an eye on this as it updates. I gotta go eat something, y'all. Belinda is Cody's mom. Then why that video then was mixing up names then? So the lady who was in the RV was Jamie. Because the way Belinda's the real, okay, she's the real grandma. Okay. So I don't know why this video, they had the names mixed up or whatnot of his mom or whatnot. But I'm going to say this. We're going to say a little prayer for them babies. And I'm going to try to deep dive more into this so I can actually cover it for real and not get names mixed up and all this other stuff. And see if we can find any information about the mom. And if she ain't did no interviews by what I see. But we're just going to say a prayer for Lily and Jack and that they get justice and for their families. I will see y'all on the flip side. Many huggies, much love. And I love you all. And I'll see you, my angels, out on the streets. Love y'all. Bye.
I'm from the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go from the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the T-U-B-E-L-O. I'm ripping my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction. This was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding. Come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Outer Street, bending every corner on the west, and that's where I'll be. Sunroof back, Captain C banging down 1800, chunking up the deuce to my post slanging down on 1800. Show no love to the ladies that's training round on 1800, making time stand still, crystalline swinging down on 1800. 1800. Watching out for them knuckleheads that be stinging around on 1800. Big rims and low pros be blanging around on 1800. Better completely change the way you're thinking about around 1800. Really hate to see you boys get left slanking around 1800. Out of street got some history, just let Captain C lay it out. If I don't finish it all on this one, let the second verse break it out. Remember the blue apartments from OG standing back there by 60 deep. Bull walking, Charles Blue, a big Anthony Hughes and P.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm repping my